everyone, welcome to another Pop Culture Talk episode. Today, I'm reviewing an addition to the Resident Evil 4 Remake, a DLC, which, let's be real, at the time when I was growing up, the original RE4 had separate ways included to make up for the fact that there was a lack of quality for the PS2 version, which was great. And this day and age, now it's all DLC. We gotta buy an extra edition instead of getting the full game, which is extremely annoying, to be honest. I'm not really a fan of this new trend. However, though, the separate ways for RE4 Remake is only $10, so it's not that bad of a deal. You do get extra stuff. So, without further ado, I will be reviewing a separate review for the RE4 Remake separate ways. Whether it's good in the original or the original is better, well, let's find out, shall we?
Excellent timing, Ada. You know how I feel about being tied up. And yes.
So, when it comes to separate ways, it's pretty much the same story with Ada 1, except there's, of course, alternatives from the original story to this new one. They do changes, which some actually work better than the original. I will say though, I always thought Ada Wong looked cooler in the original. She had that sexy look to her in that dress. I mean, she was able to kick ass with just the dress. She had a lot of arsenal with her. And of course, you saw her point of view during specific moments of the main game. What this does different, to be honest, I quite like the Separate Ways DLC here for the remake. It actually blends in quite well with the main story. When it comes to the original, there's a little difference with Ada. In Ada, in this one, you get to see a situation that happens with her character during the story of the remade version, compared to the original where this sort of thing didn't happen in the original. Of course, new music featured in this DLC. It gives a different feel from the main story because we're playing Ada. We also get more details about Louis and what she was doing with Louis while Leon was doing his thing with Ashley, which is cool. I will say there are certain guns that she can get exclusive to her, and then of course other things. There was some other features I actually didn't know were in this game, which was getting keychains for the suitcase that carries your guns. If you get the Ada Wong original from the original game, it gives you the ability to take shields off of enemies that try to attack you with their shields. And, you know, you have to shoot their shields multiple times. But pretty much the gameplay is the same as the original. It's just that you're playing as Ada Wong. There's points where she has to use her quote-unquote Batman gadget to fly around, just like in the original. But overall, I really enjoyed playing Separate Ways. Now, for the voice actress, I mentioned that there was issues with the voice actress in the main game. Well, okay, personally, I didn't think she had that oomph like how the original voice actors of Ada Wong. Heck, I still don't get why did they pick a new voice actress to do her? Why couldn't they get the same voice actress from Resident Evil 2 Remake? It made no sense to me why they did that. However, in Separate Ways, she's a little better. Okay, she does improve a bit more in Separate Ways, and then once you see her side, and then it comes full circle with the main story where you saw her as Leon, it actually blends in kind of well with the voice. While not the best, she's improved. So I guess that's a plus. On the other hand, I have to say Mercenary Mode gives you Ada along with Wesker. And there's like two separate costumes for the characters. Like Leon has this 1930s, 40s, 50s look with a Thompson gun, while Ada has two costumes where it's the one from Resident Evil 4 Remake to a redesign of the original RE4 dress that she wore in the original game, but it's a little different. I don't get why there was like separate costume, but I guess maybe it's because they have different weapons. So for Ada Wong, if you play her on Mercenary Mode, and you pick the main campaign one, the new clothing that she wears, she has the weapons from the game, like the main plot. However, if you play her in her dress, her sexy dress, she has weapons from the original game, which is actually a nod, a wink wink, which I actually quite like because I felt like I preferred Ada Wong in the original because of how she looked. And here though, they still make her look pretty cool and sexy and all that, but I missed the dress. And now we have the dress in here. Heck, even in the campaign mode, you could like choose what costumes that the characters can wear. So pretty much if you want Ada Wong to wear that dress, you can in both separate ways and even in the main campaign. The only downside is when you have radio conversations with Ada, it shows her wearing the same main uniform from the main game. That's one little minor con, but it doesn't ruin the experience. Even the dress details fit really well. Like they put so much detail in how it moves, knowing that it's an alternate costume. This game is really well done. Of course, what is featured with Ada Wong is, let's say if you shoot someone in the head or one of the Ganados in the head and they kind of stumble, usually you have to get close to hit him with Leon. However, with Ada, she uses her Batman gadget and knocks them out, getting close to knock them out. Now in mercenary mode, Wesker, he's cheap. Let's be real, he's cheap. He has that power to just annihilate anybody. Now recently I also downloaded the Resident Evil 4 original soundtrack, and my gosh, you could like switch between the newer music to the old one, and from what I've played, replaying some of the levels, it actually fits pretty well. The original music inserted into the remake. I'm like, holy cow, they did a good job here. So to be honest, Resident Evil 4 Remake is a game that you could just keep coming back and playing and have a blast. Just like the original. It's a game that you could just keep coming back over and over again. Heck, I've been playing so much of Mercenary mode, I've been so hooked with that mode, trying to get a higher score for each character on each stage. Heck, downloading the DLC for Ada, her separate ways, comes with a whole new map. A map of the final boss area. Except they throw every Ganado from the entire game. The villagers, the military group, and the cultist group. And then they have the crazy chainsaw, except it's a powerful chainsaw guy, a boosted chainsaw. Well, my final thoughts on this is Separate Ways adds a lot more features and a lot of more depth to Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 4 Remake, in my original review, if you hadn't seen it, I would definitely check it out, but this expands on it a lot more, so it makes the game even better than, I mean, the game was already good before the DLC, but man, this adds a lot more stuff to it. And for only $10, that's not really that bad of a deal. So my final verdict would be, get Separate Ways. It adds more to the game. Now, while my verdict still stays the same for the main game, this adds another layer to it, and I would say get it. Just get it. It's not that expensive compared to more DLC these days that go $15 or more. Like, this was the same price I bought Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare for. It was cheap. And you got a whole new campaign with multiplayer features. This does the same thing, gives you some, well, except for multiplayer, but score-wise, leaderboards for the mercenary mode. I mean, that's cool. But yeah, I would definitely get it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you like what you saw here, subscribe, follow me wherever you're watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Peace.
Bye.